Greetings, my friends. I'm Andrea, astrologer, and welcome to this weekly update on markets in general and crypto. It is basically for the last week of January, from the 27th until the end of the month, that I would like to cover today, mentioning also briefly the weekend. And it is really interesting. We have a complex energy around us with Uranus stationary, and Jupiter will follow closely stationary, which means that we will have really difficulty in seeing the transits that are short term. Some of them are suppressed, some of them are really executed, and it's good to be aware of that. Actually, there are detailed techniques that one can dive into, but they are super time consuming. So we hope for the best to see as much as possible from the next week. From any mistakes for them, I want to apologize in advance. So it's important to be aware that it is a tricky time to estimate. It's from this part of January, actually from the 27th, and it will go until at least the 4th of February, I would say, when Jupiter turns. And to be more sure, I would give the 10th of February as a period that is more difficult to see. And we are in a Rahu-Neptune dreamy energy. So I would like also to say that it is important to focus on clearing the mind, because this is possible despite of the confusion that it can get into rational areas of life. But then you can really have a full recharge with this transit, and it's very creative. Imagination is really favored, so have a look at that. Also, from a financial market perspective, we can have new projects, especially in terms of art, maybe NFT revival, God knows, but in general, I would say it is a dreamy landscape. I would like to talk, like always, about the global astrology, and then to go into details with members for Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, and the XAU, the gold and silver index. So let's go. We do have the end of January with the 28th of January actually on good aspect, so to speak. It's a Mercury Rahu sextile that we have in the global astrology. This normally is a positive and adventurous aspect in the market, which would really bring the price up, but also the trading activity, possibly the volume as well. So this is something we can look forward to if we get permission from Uranus. So I really hope we will get this, because it will be an interesting influence to have that can lift prices up. But again, it's not a sustainable energy, and it can grow too fast and too significantly, and then it will drop. It will not have durability in time. This energy can also be postponed after Uranus turns, at least in the beginning of February, I would say, or maybe, let's say, from the 10th or from the 7th, something like that. This is also possible, but in any case, it's good to have it in mind as an inventory in case we get more bearish energy, which is, I think, the likelier scenario at first, and then we will get more positive energy executing. And we do have the 29th of January also with a bearish aspect this time, which is a Mercury-Pluto conjunction. As I mentioned, we do have Mercury in the sidereal Capricorn. Look at my shorts if you didn't see them. It is an important transit for Bitcoin, being driven driven a lot by the news, so it is important to check these more often than usual. Then I would like to say that this is in general a negative influence that points towards regulation and big money. Could be that some disruption or some unexpected things happen with ETFs. There are news, rumors around it. This could be a case where I'm thinking about these ETFs due to the fact that Pluto is the big money, or it could be simply some regulation that is not really the one that is expected, so to speak, to lift up and accelerate things. Now we do have already the reach of the degree where Uranus turns from the beginning of the week, so roughly on the 28th. And on the 30th, we have the big turn of Uranus that we wait for. Usually this is historically a trigger for the altcoin season. So what we will have this time, it will be interesting, but we need to wait because Jupiter is still stationary. So I really hope it will move. We have on this day, it's very important to see the global astrology, a Sun trine Jupiter, which is very favorable, positive. It shows a positive regulation, so it's a sort, of a mixed bag for the previous days, but today it shows really a positive outlook towards crypto due to positive regulation, so to speak. The Sun being the royal energy and Jupiter is about benevolence, it's about expansion, but this Jupiter is stationary, therefore it can take its time. On the day, it's also important to see which aspect Uranus has. And what I see, of course, I looked in detail at hourly aspects because we don't have another type of aspect, this being a rare event. It is negative, unfortunately, but I would say that combined with the positive energy, it will show a volatility on the day or around the day, again, due to the fact that we have Uranus stationary still. Even if it turns, it doesn't have speed, and Jupiter is already stationary as well. So again, patience would be probed a bit, but this is important to take into account, because if it's not manifested now, it will get manifested very soon. So it's good to be aware of this, because there are quite a few aspects pending. You can see them as a queue, and then all of them will enter the shop afterwards. So this means that we might have price moves that are pretty significant afterwards, and then we ask ourselves why, because we don't have any other exact aspect afterwards when it really happens. And this is the reason why, because all this queue of aspects would go directly into the Bitcoin shop, so to speak. So this is, I would say, a positive Thursday from this point of view, at least as an inventory. For the global astrology, again, Bitcoin horoscope is another story. And we do have also on Friday a sort of no event at day level for global astrology. So it can continue the pace and the influence from the previous day. Again, all my predictions are for the UTC time zone. The location in the world where UTC is currently active is London, UK. Now I would like to go into the details with the members. Before I go, sorry, I almost forgot, but I promised you also a brief update on the weekend in the global astrology. We do have Sunday with a Venus-Neptune conjunction, which is good and could really recover some drops, but I see negative energy also at hourly level, which is pretty strong. Enhanced volatility on the first, on Saturday actually, and it is really, I would say, a point of caution beginning beginning of February. It might be that something is suppressed at least because Jupiter is stationary just before turning. Uranus is still stationary, it doesn't really move, and it is a weekend where we can have low transaction volume. But in general, I would describe the weekend as not positive, but recovery would come because of the positive aspect on Sunday. So sorry for getting this, and thank you again.